Hey guys, this is ToyTony, and we're going to look at the new Savage World Series 2 ThunderCats. So, what I thought would be fun to do now is I'm going to pull out the original toys, and we're going to turn back the time, so to speak, to the 80s, and look at the ThunderCats and the way they looked when they came out, and you will be able to see the difference between the two. So we'll move all these babies over here. And I couldn't find, I found the first edition, and this is the young Tygra. So they made another Tygra later on, and I think this one is molded more off of the older version. And you can see, again, they're not trying to copy the originals in any shape, form, or fashion. That the ThunderCats were made by LJN, and each one of them had their own mold, their own style of figure. The shapes were different. You know, they didn't try. The wonderful thing about He-Man was they interchanged and mixed parts together and were able to reuse different things, and it made the line look cool. The ThunderCats were cool, but they were each one of them was more unique, and the sculpts. And so if you look at this one, you can see, I mean, the colors are a little deeper tones on the hair. It's more of a reddish tone, and this one's a little bit lighter orange. And again, I think on the adult Tygra that the colors are a little bit different, so that's fine. So anyway, there's Tygra and his vintage counterpart. So, and so we're gonna pull out Jackalman's vintage counterpart, and you can see this one. This one here, they're almost the same height, but you know, Jackalman arches a little bit. This one hunches over a little bit more than this one, and they both have the cool shoulder pads. This one, of course, is a separate piece. And one thing I didn't mention on the Tygra is they all had some sort of a gadget. This one here, you could push the lever back and forth, and he could punch his hands. And of course, we're not trying to get that on these. I just wanted to show you. Their tones are, again, the browns here are a little bit deeper color, but they're very similar, and but this one here I think is really unique because I think this one looks a lot more like the cartoon. And again, LJN, back when they made these, I don't know if they were going off of it would be interesting to find out if they had some concept art, because they might have been working off of early concept art when they designed these. And then of course back in the 80s, a lot of this stuff was sculpted by hand, and there wasn't any of this scanning stuff and 3D modeling. And so back for the time that they made this, I think it's awesome. These were awesome. But again, I just thought it would be neat to kind of turn back the clock and see what the vintage counterpart looked like. Okay, well now we're looking at Monkian, and on any of the old ones, as you can see, I didn't have time to find the weapons, but I thought it would be cool at least to look at the sculpts. And the one big difference, like I told you on Monkian, was the hat on the vintage one. His helmet was separate piece, where it's molded on this one. And I think their tones, their hair tones are very close. And this one here has a longer loincloth. And I was recently watching the cartoons, and again, I think these look a little closer to the way the characters looked in the original show. But I'm not complaining because I love my original ThunderCats. And so anyway, and again, they all had these levers, and that would move the arms, usually either one or two arms. Some of them had both arms would move, and then other ones just had one arm that would move. So anyway, I think that they look very nice, and it's a cool comparison. I thought it was kind of neat to do this. Okay, we've got Cheetara here, and last but not least, and we're comparing the two of them. This individual character is a little harder to stand up than the male counterparts. And of course, she has 2 left legs, left feet. So that probably is aiding us in our inability to get her to stand up. If you look at both figures, her outfit's a little bit lighter. It's more of a tan, fleshy color, and she's got the darker orange. And her hair's a little bit darker, but they have some nice spots. Both of them are I think they're very attractive, so they did a good job on both of the Cheetaras. I like the way her hair flows a little bit better here. Here she seemed like she just got out of the shower and pulled it back in. It hasn't really fluffed out yet. On the back, if you look, she's got a finer lever, and when you use that, it pulls, like I said, some of them have 1 and the other have 2. In her case, she has both arms going up and down because when she holds her stick, if you see, the one hand is this way and the other hand is the other way, so that she's able to hold her stick for battle. So anyway, I like that. You're not going to be able to do that with this figure because both hands are kind of holding it sideways.
All right.
Okay, and we thought it would be fun, since we talked about her holding the staff with both hands. We don't have her original accessory, but we thought it would be cool to put the new accessory in her hand so you can see how she's able to hold it. And with her, it might be a little too heavy for her motion, but no, it's working pretty good. So anyway, I thought it'd be kind of fun so you can see how she actually holds her battling weapon here. So I think it looks pretty cool. So anyway, that's our turn back time segment, and we wanted to check out all the different figures, and overall my consensus is that I really like this new Savage World Series 2 line. They're great. I mean, I think you can do some nice things, posability, and put them on the shelf, and I think that Funko's done a really good job with the Savage World line. And so anyway, this is Toy Tony, and I hope you've enjoyed our video. And remember, you're never too old to love toys. Until next time, we'll see you soon.